Agricultural pricing policy in India. This is the today's topic. In this topic, we discussed the pricing policy in India, needs to pricing policy and objectives of pricing policy and measures to pricing policy. This is the very important in agriculture point of view. In India, the agriculture price policies and allied instruments were evolved in the pre-independence era. The pricing policies is not nowadays problems. Already it is in pre-independence era. In the post-independence era, the objectives of achieving food security was linked with environmental sustainability. So after independence, our objective is mainly achieving food security to our people, and it is linked with environmental sustainability. So this goes to in a broad way, not only for food security, it was linked with environmental sustainability in India. The objectives of the government's price policy for agriculture products is to set remunerative price with a view to encourage higher investment and production. This is also main determinant factor to agricultural pricing policy. So government should set a remunerative price to the cultivators or farmers, and government must encourage higher investment in agriculture sector to increase production and productivity in agriculture sector. Shortage is even a marginal nature used to persist, and there was a steady upward trend in price levels to bring demand and supply into balance. For this agricultural pricing policy in India emerged in the context of food scarcity and price fluctuations provoked by drought of mid-60s. So India facing so many problems in the past, especially famines and droughts occurred. So this problem should solve. That's why the government take a decision to development of agriculture, to maintain sustainable development, to maintain sufficient supplies of foods to the consumers or peoples, so to control the price fluctuations. So these are all the main determinants to the agricultural pricing policy. The policy was framed keeping in view of three different angles. When we achieve these type of goals, remunerative price, sustainable development, to increase investment in agriculture sector, to control price fluctuations, the policy was framed keeping in view of three different angles. They are providing food grains for the public distribution system. This is the main point. Then ensuring a reasonable price for food grains. Otherwise, the rates of food grains increase. They are not available to the poor sections. Then adoption of new technology in agriculture. It shows more investments in agriculture sector. If investment in agriculture sector, the farmers will adopt the new technology that leads to a production growth. These are main points to prepare this pricing policy. Providing food grains for the public distribution system, ensuring a reasonable price for food grains, adoption of new technology in agriculture. The Agriculture Price Commission was set up in January 1965 to advise the government on price policy of major agriculture commodities. In this context, the Indian government take steps and it set up a commission. The Commission, Agriculture Price Commission, it set up in 1965. This commission advised to the government on price of major agricultural commodities. How we determine the price, how we fixed the price. Since March 1985, the commission has been known as Commission for Agricultural Costs and Prices, CSCP. This commission is setting a price levels in agriculture sector and agricultural products. The main objectives of agricultural pricing policy: to meet the domestic consumption requirements. India is a large population country, so the food grains must be available to the people. So this policy will encourage the domestic consumption requirement and provide price stability in agriculture products. There is some fluctuations in agriculture production. Some seasonally the price will very low, unseasonally the agriculture product commodities price were very high. When the agriculture products high price, they are not available to the poor sections. That's why provide a price facility, price stability in agriculture products. This is the main objective of agriculture pricing policy, especially food grains. Ensure reasonable relations between the price of food grains and non-food grains. There is a gap between food grains and non-food grains in contest price. So, ensure reasonable relations between the price of food grains and non-food grains. To ensure reasonable relationship between the price of agriculture commodities and manufactured goods. This is also important objective. The relations between price of agriculture commodities and manufactured goods. Manufactured goods comes from industrial sector, agriculture goods from agriculture sector. So we should maintain the relationship of these commodities, agriculture commodities and manufactured goods. To smooth seasonal and cyclical fluctuations of price of agriculture commodities. So there is a cyclical fluctuations of price, especially in agriculture commodities price. When the season, cropping season, the price is very low because at that time the supply is very high in the market. When unseason, the prices for these goods are very high. It is not available to the poor sections. So this situation should be controlled. That's why seasonal and cyclical fluctuations of price of agriculture commodities deal with a smooth manner. It should be controlled. Then remove price differences between two regions. So some regions have very high price and some regions are very low price with in same commodities, because India is a large vast country. There is a regional disparities, regional differences between two regions for same goods. That's why we should remove price differences between two regions in the country. To make available food to consumer at the time of shortage. So at the time of shortage, we must provide goods or food grains to the consumers. So keep them available to consumers in a shortage time. This is also main objective of pricing policy. To increase the production and exports of agricultural products. So the pricing policy should encourage exports of agriculture commodities. It is very useful to exports, and we can gain a foreign reserves. So India is exporting more agriculture products. So that's why the pricing policy should encourage the exports of agriculture products. To prove raw material to the industries, to provide raw materials to the industries and reasonable prices. So many industries depends on agriculture for their raw material. For example, sugar industry, raw material sugar cane, and oil industry, oil seeds, textile industry, cotton, and jute industry, jute. So many industries depends on agriculture for their raw material. So we must maintain these relations, industrial and agriculture sectors. That's why provide a raw material to the industries at a reasonable price to ensure constant uses of modern inputs in agriculture. It is necessary that farmers are assured minimum price for their product. So we must encourage the farmers to implement new inputs or new technology in agriculture. Modern inputs must be used in agriculture, necessary to increase the production. That's why we must assure minimum price to the agriculture product. Specific nature of agriculture products, there are many difficulties in agriculture marketing. Some of agriculture products are very specific, have specific nature. So there are many difficulties in agriculture marketing, such as perishability, air problems of shortage. Price policy is important for proper crop planning. So cropping pattern also decide on the pricing policy. To prevent exploitation of farmers from moneylenders, zamindars or commission agents, local marketeers or other intermediaries who may purchase products at a low price in the absence of price policy. When the farmer sell in local market, they are deceiving by the intermediaries by using wrong methods or wrong measurements, and they getting only low price. To avoid all these situations, this pricing policy help to the farmers to get good price. To maintain this pricing policy, the main institutions in India is maintain the pricing policy and set up a pricing policy. Main features of agricultural pricing policy: the silent features of agricultural policy are as follows. Number one, institutions. The government has set up two institutions to implement the price policy in India. One is Agriculture Price Commission. This Agriculture Price Commission advise the government regarding agriculture price policy, and it also determines minimum support price and procurement price of agriculture products. This commission look into these matters, determine the minimum supporting price and procurement price of agriculture products, and advising the government to agriculture price policy. And other institution is Food Corporation of India. This corporation organizes a procurement of food grains at price determined by government and their sales through PDS system. These two institutions frame a agricultural policy and advise to the government of India to make agricultural price policies. Second one, fixation of minimum support price or procurement price. The government determines minimum support price of many agriculture products such as wheat, rice, made every year based on recommendations made by CACP, Commission on Agriculture Costs and Product Price. This commission advises how much price will increase in the major cropping products. By this commission's recommendations, government frame a pricing policy. The procurement price of wheat was at rupees 56 per quintal in 1965-66, and it has been increased to rupees 1400 per quintal in 2013-14. There is a change in pricing. Minimum supporting price in 1965-66 for wheat only 56 rupees per quintal. In 1913-14, the same product get a 1400 per quintal. There is a big change in minimum supporting price. And second largest crop in India, the procurement price per paddy was rupees 77 per quintal in 1977-78. And it has been increased to 1310 per quintal in 13-14 year. This is also very remarkable changes in minimum supporting prices for main food grains of wheat and rice. And the procurement price for bajra, maize, ragi and jawar were respectively 1310 rupees, 1500 per quintal in 2013-14. These are coarse errors. The MSP price also increasing. So the Commission for Agriculture Costs and Pricing decide the minimum supporting price. So this commission decide minimum supporting price for wheat in 1965-66 only 56 rupees per quintal, and it has been increased for 1400 for quintal in 1314. All agriculture product is their MSP prices are increased. Then other silent feature of agriculture pricing policy is maximum price fixation. Government also determines maximum price for certain agricultural products. The government sells many agricultural products such as grains, sugar, rice at price through fair price under PDS. So at last point we discussed minimum supporting price. If paddy get 1400 for quintal, the farmer get minimum that price. Even of course he will get more than 1400 rupees per quintal, but he cannot get less than 1400. That is the important point to decide minimum supporting price. The farmers gets minimum price. This commission announced in the starting of agriculture season which products get minimum support price, what is it that decides the cropping pattern in India, and also maximum price fixations. Government also determines maximum price for certain agricultural products. The government sells many agricultural products such as grains, sugar, rice at price through for price under PDS. To provide food grains to public, the government maintain some food stores through their government organizations. That's why they are purchasing agricultural products or food grains, and they may give maximum price to the farmers. So agriculture products such as grains and food grains, sugar, rice at price through fair price under PDS. It comprises two types of rationing. Maximum price fixation comprise two types of rationing. One, statutory rationing. In this statutory rationing, the open market is legally barred from functioning, and the govt undertakes the responsibility of supplying specified ration quantities to consumer. Definitely government interfere in the market and they purchased that goods from the farmers to maintain sustainable stocks. So that's why the open market is legally barred from functioning, and the govt undertakes the responsibility for supplying specified rations quantities to consumers. And second one, informal rationing. In this, the open market is allowed to function so that the consumer can supplement the ration obtained from fair price shops by purchasing in open market. to maintain availability stock to the consumers, to maintain fair price to consumer, to maintain minimum price to farmers. The government take actions. It put a conditions, especially in rationing, statutory rationing and normal rationing. Then buffer stocks. Buffer stock refers to the buying and selling out stock with the sole purpose of moderating the price fluctuations. Government maintain the buffer stocks. It purchases from farmers and keep it in cold storages, and it leads to moderating the price fluctuations, especially to prevent changes in price of agricultural products behind a certain limit. Government maintains buffer stock for goods. This is done by FCI, especially when prices are increasing in open market. The government sold out the food grains or agriculture products from their buffer stocks, and it leads to maintain the price fluctuations. The government agency, Food Corporation of India, mainly look after these buffer stocks. When price of food grains starts increasing, government starts selling food grains from buffer stocks at specific prices. As a result, increase in price of food grains can be checked. That's why government maintain the buffer stocks. Increasing price should be checked. How? The government selling food grains from their buffer stocks. It leads to stable price. Buffer stock operations aim at eliminating unduly low price consequent to bumper crops. So this is also main observation, main point, to keep buffer stocks. Enlightening elimination of unduly low prices consequent to bumper crops. That's why the government keeps the buffer stocks. When prices are increasing, government starts selling food grains. Then price can be checked. So these are all the pricing policies, implementing agencies, how they making price policy in India. There is a shortcomings of agricultural pricing policy. Limited coverages. The pricing policy in India very limited, very few crops are maintaining the pricing policy prices. Most of products not covered in pricing policy. This is the main shortcoming or main problem. Then less remunerative price. Even implementation of these pricing policy, the farmer should not get remunerative price. Even he get low price. So the main aim is remunerative price provide to the farmer, but it's not implementing properly the pricing policy. That's why farmers get very low price to their products. And pricing policy fail to achieve price stability. The main objective of pricing policy in India is price stability, but it is failed to stable the price policy, price for commodities in the economy. Sometimes the prices are very high, sometimes the prices are very low. Sometimes farmers are getting losses, sometimes consumers are facing problem of high prices. There is no stable price. The pricing policy should maintain the stable prices, but it failed to achieve price stability in the economy. Ineffective PDS, public distribution system. If strong public distribution system available in the country, this policy is benefit to consumers as well as farmers. But India, very low public distribution system organizations, very ineffective, not effective more. Less number of regulated markets. One of the main objective, main aim of pricing policy, provide the remunerative price to farmers and reasonable price to consumer. In these situation will help with the regulated markets, but very less number of regulated markets in India. That's why the farmers selling their commodities or produces in a local markets to money lenders, to commission agents, and they are deceiving the farmers and they are exploiting the farmers and they increase the price to consumer. The main problem is non-availability of regulated markets to farmers and consumers. Unaccompanied by effective policy. So effective policy must be implemented. These are the shortcomings of agriculture pricing policies. And some of suggestions for improving the agricultural pricing policies. Extension of price policy. The pricing policy only for major crops like wheat, paddy, etc., etc. So many core cereals are not getting supporting prices. So we must extension all agricultural products to the pricing policy. And establishment of more agencies to implement this pricing policy. We have only two agencies, FCI and CACP, that means Commission of Agriculture Costs and Pricing. They are not enough to maintain to establish the pricing policy. We establishment of more agency to implement this pricing policy. And proper fixation of prices. There is no proper fixation. We must look after the inputs, price levels and local conditions, etc. This may be considered to fix the price for agriculture products. Improvement in PDS. A lack of proper public distribution system. This system getting losses, failure. So improvement in public distribution system. Improvement in productivity. We should encourage the farmers to increase productivity by giving a suitable or fair price to, or minimum price or maximum price to farmer for his agriculture products. Improvement in agricultural marketing. The main obstacle is lack of marketing facilities for farming. So you must improve in agriculture market. In agriculture or regulated markets available in the economy, the farmer get good price or even minimum price he will get. Sometimes he get maximum price for their agri products. That's why we must improve in agriculture market. So we maintain the agriculture pricing policy in India to encourage the agriculture product and productivity and remunerative prices to farmers, agri productions, and reasonable rates to consumers. This is main objective of the pricing, agriculture pricing policy in India. Thank you.